Well, usually I would be very frustrated that the Blue Jays lose 5-0 and get no hit. But I'm not very angry. Yes, the Jays lost, and it sucks. But Canadian left-handed pitcher James Paxton throws the no-no against the Blue Jays, the first Canadian to ever throw a no-hitter against or on home soil in Canada. That is terrific. I'm so proud of Paxton for that game. He was terrific all game long. Dealt was fantastic, and credits to him. And also the defense he had behind him. He was stellar. It's just fantastic. Now the Jays lost, which sucks, but it just gets overshadowed by just the performance, the meaning of this. And you see in the post-game interview that he was talking to Hazel May. You know, he had the tattoo on his arm of the maple leaf. I mean, that's amazing. And his story is fantastic, too. The road to the MLB, I guess you want to call it, for Paxton, was just a crazy one. And we'll get to him in a little bit here, but let's start off with talking about the game overall and what the Blue Jays did wrong and just really what they didn't do well at all. Marcus Stroman didn't have much luck at all. A lot of these hits, he gave up 5 runs over 5 innings, 9 hits, walked a couple, struck out 2. One of the walks came back to haunt him in a 2-run home run. And a lot of the other hits they got were a lot of bloop singles, choppers down the line that just stay fair. I mean, they got some lucky bounces, but that's what Marcus Stroman is not getting as of late. And he struggles again. He's now 0-5 on the season. The Jays can't get any offense going. When they get runners on base and in scoring position, they can't do anything with it. But the story, like I said, gets so overshadowed by James Paxton. We're looking at the bullpen for the Jays. Tim Meza goes 2 2/3 of an inning, gives him a hit, walks a batter, and then Jake Petricka got called up, and we'll talk about in a second why he got called up. He went an inning and a third for the Blue Jays. He was good in his clean inning and a third of work. Great job there. And the bullpen really hasn't been the problem for this Jays team. It really hasn't been all season long. And speaking of bullpen, Roberto Osuna, and if anybody has not heard, then you're not really a hardcore Jays fan, I guess, at that point. Roberto Osuna, earlier today, got charged and for an alleged assault, domestic assault, on a woman. And, we've seen what the MLB has done with this before, and it's just heartbreaking because we saw last year what happened, all like the documentary they put together for Osuna, and how the big road to the big leagues he had, all the tough times, but he did so well. And to see this, I'm hoping it's not, I don't know. We can only keep our fingers crossed that it's not as bad as everyone say it is. But really, it doesn't look good for Osuna. I don't know what's going to happen. I have no clue what's going to happen. But with that being said, you now don't have a closer. And it's scary. The team, they've lost him now, for at least for a little while. And it's nerve-wracking. It really is. But you got to find a way to get through it. And the Jays, as of late, really have not been playing the greatest baseball. And you just look at the way this team has played. They haven't been able to hit the ball clearly today, not being able to hit the baseball. But defensively, they looked a little shaky. Justin Smoke throwing a ball away, and we're not used to seeing that type of thing from Justin Smoke. But the Blue Jays offense, like we said, nowhere to be found. The pitching was okay. The bullpen was great. Stroman didn't have much luck. Plus, he gave up a couple home runs, one to Zunino, and the other one, or he gave up an RBI single to Nelson Cruz. But that was a broken bat single to make it 2-0 there in the third inning. So there you go there. And then an RBI ground out. So those are 2 runs that are like kind of tough there. But they happen. And then Zunino with the 2-run shot. Mitch Haniger with a sacrifice fly. So it's like, again, he was getting in tough situations, and he wasn't finding ways to get out of those big situations. Now, he limited the damage at some points, but really didn't do all that great. Now let's just get to the guy at hand. James Paxton, guys. We talked about him off the start of the video, obviously. And, what a story. What a story for this guy. Canadian-born guy, just an unbelievable thing. The first Canadian ever to do it on home soil. And he talked about it after the game, how it meant so much to him to have family in the crowd, friends, all that great stuff from Ladner, British Columbia, as a lot of the Canadian baseball players come from in BC. Just an unbelievable story, and you can see the emotion in his teammates. He got a lot of great defensive plays. Big play by Kyle Seager. Corey Seager's on the Dodgers. They're brothers, obviously. Kyle Seager with a great diving play in the 7th inning to save that. You see Ryan Healy at first base. He's jacked up. Paxton's pumped. And then a great play by Seager to end the ball game in the 9th inning. Great defense can really help. I mean, you don't get a no-hitter if your defense plays amazing. You go back to all the no-hitters we've seen over the past few years. There's a lot of really good defensive plays in those games. Paxton did get that today, but that's why this is a team game. His team helped him out to get the no-hitter. He went the complete game, no hits, no runs, 3 walks, but 2 of those I think were in 1 inning, and struck out 7 guys. It's just fantastic. I'm okay with the Jays losing this game because a Canadian just threw a no-no. I'm happy for him. He deserves it. Way to go. But after today, no more of that. All right, no more no-hitters. That's the 5th time in Jays history we've been no-hit. I don't want to see that anymore. Because tomorrow, Wade LeBlanc, former Blue Jay, is on the mound for the Seattle Mariners, and I'd rather not get no-hit by him. But for the Jays, they have Jaime Garcia on the mound, and really, he's, after like we talked about every time he's about to get on the mound, I mean, he had a great first couple starts, but ever since then, he's been rough. I mean, you look at the last game against Cleveland, he had a great 3 or 4 innings and then just blew up. We're up 5-0, bang, at the end of the inning, you're down 7-5, right? He can't have those innings. You got to limit the damage, and that's what we look for in Game 2 to get back in the win column. We want to get on a nice little roll here, but the injury bug is really starting to plague this team. Now with Osuna gone, Diaz now on the DL, Granderson, Pierce, Grichuk, all those guys on the DL. I know I'm missing a guy, well, obviously Tulowitzki, but it's hitting the Blue Jays a little bit here, and it's tough. But for Jays fans, and I'm proud of Jays fans, 20,000 people in the stands today, knowing there's a Canadian on the mound, giving a standing ovation in the top of the 9th, or bottom of the 9th with 2 out. That's a great thing, because we know, Canada, we got to stand by our guys, and when they're throwing a no-hitter, especially against your own team, you got to be happy somehow, and they did it. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. You guys enjoyed this video, and you enjoyed James Paxton's no-hitter. Hit that like button. I do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below what you guys think of the game. What'd you think of James Paxton? What'd you think of the Jays overall? What'd you think of Stroman? I want to hear what you guys have to say about that. And we'll talk to you guys, well, you know what? Podcast is actually going to be uploaded not too long after this video. Link is in the description for the podcast channel and for the podcast itself on iTunes. Go check that out down below, guys. Twitter is also down there. Follow up, send me a DM, all that great stuff down in the description below. And we'll talk to you guys, Rappers Edition, whenever I decide to upload the season review and off-season preview video, which will be in about a week or so. And we'll talk to you guys, Blue Jays Edition, tomorrow night. Wade LeBlanc, Jaime Garcia, Game 2 of this 3-game set against the Seattle Mariners. 7:07 first pitch there at the Rogers Center. We'll talk to you guys then.